Okay, I want to talk about how humans are so inherently designed to be like deceptive on a first meeting, and why you can't judge a book by its cover, but also we do show a lot of who we are. So yeah, let me show you through the astro birth chart. Okay, so looking here, this is your birth chart. I really like to show the circle chart for those of you who've only seen like the box charts on CoStar and things like that, because the circle really represents how much balance, like how the chart and how our whole lives and everything is about balance. So I kind of want to start here. So this would be your rising sign. It starts off your first house. In whole sign, it would just be exactly here in Placidus. It would be like slightly off. But let's say you're an Aries rising, right? So you're going to be on first meeting. The rising sign is the impression people get of you when they first meet you. So when people first meet you, they're going to get met with a lot of Aries energy. So it's going to be the energy of like initiating, being a leader, being maybe a bit hot-headed, loud, and you're very open with your communication. Like you might be very blunt in the way you speak, very fast-paced. Are all Aries related things, especially because it's ruled by Mars, which can relate to like aggression, but initiation and protection and things like that. So on first meeting, you might seem like a very fiery, amped up person. But when we go to the seventh house here, your seventh house is in Libra. So what that means is that in relationships, you really do want harmony and balance and fairness. And these things are not opposite of each other per se, but these two are sister signs. So what you're getting here with this fiery hot energy, you actually are getting air energy when in relationships with this person. And air energy is very different from fire energy. Air energy is more about the communication, intellect, and Libra is all about, it's ruled by Venus, which is, this being ruled by Mars, Libra being ruled by Venus. So if we went to these persons' Mars and Venus placements, so Venus would be right here, and I actually missed the one for Mars, you would then get all different energy. So in first meeting, you're getting like the Aries, but in relationships, you're getting the Libra. So, and then when this person's at home in private, they're a lot of Cancer energy, which is so different from Aries energy. Cancer energy, this person could actually be very emotional and sensitive on the inside when they're at home in private. But then if you know them in a reputational sense, so you know of them, but you maybe never met them in person, then you're going to get Capricorn energy, which is, not only the sister sign to Cancer, so you're getting the opposite of how they are at home, very emotional and sensitive and nurturing. You're going to get a much, Capricorn is earth, but it's kind of like an icy earth. Like they can come off as maybe a bit not emotional, because they come off as emotionally maybe iced cold, but they're not. They actually are very emotional on the inside. It's just expressed very differently in Capricorn. So again, you're getting a very opposite energy. So inherently, we are all very deceptive in that sense, because it's all about balance, because everybody has all these energies in us. So I really like the idea of thinking of ourselves as whole charts, because even if, for example, your sun is here in Capricorn, so you're getting a lot of Capricorn energy because the person's ego and identity is in Capricorn now. So even on first meeting, you're at this super fiery hot energy. The sun and the ego and this person's Mercury is in Capricorn, so they're like a very hard worker. So their reputation would be known as like really being out there and working very hard, and maybe could be seen as not emotional, even though their rising sign is an Aries. So I just kind of wanted to show that, because everybody has their sister signs at the angles. So you're always getting met with the reputation that's opposite from the inner like when they're at home and their emotional states. And then when upon first meeting, you're getting this energy, but in relationships, it's the opposite. It's a sister sign. So even though they complement each other in a lot of ways, they are still opposites. And you always have opposites on the angles because that's the way the chart is set up. So basically, humans are inherently set up for balance, to try and find balance at all times between ourselves, between how we come off, how we are internally, how we show ourselves to the world, and friendships and groups, and creativity, and in romances and everyday life, with our money and business, with how we communicate, with higher learning, when we travel, with when we're in intense situations that really transform us, or when it comes to intimacy in our personal relationships, or when we're isolating and maybe going through like addictions, or loss is also the 12th house. So yeah, it really wanted to show this because I know a lot of people haven't even seen their own chart in this circle form. So I really just kind of wanted to share this, especially for people just getting into astrology. So if you're interested in getting an astrology reading, you can get one with me. I do it through the link in my bio. You can go to my website. And I also do a lot with the asteroids. So if you're looking for a very intensive reading, it's kind of my specialty. So yeah, thanks.